Welcome back to my channel Pinnacle of English, and in today's video we are going to learn a very good lesson named My Childhood, which is in class 9 CBSE English, and this lesson is taken from the autobiography of APJ Abdul Kalam, Wings of Fire. Let's understand how exactly APJ Abdul Kalam's childhood was. Let's understand and let's enjoy his childhood. Let's understand the short autobiography of APJ Abdul Kalam. His name was APJ Abdul Kalam. Full name was Awul Pakir Jainul Abdin Abdul Kalam. He was born on October 15, 1931 and died on July 27, 2015. He achieved his education. He got his education in Madras Institute of Technology. His place of birth was Dhanushkodi, Rameswaram in India. His place of date, that was Shillong, India, where he was presenting. He attended a seminar, and while giving his speech he got a heart attack and he died over there. He was very famous by his nickname called Missile Man of the country. Let's understand the introduction of the lesson. APJ Abdul Kalam's biography is titled as Wings of Fire, and the chapter My Childhood talks about the childhood of APJ Abdul Kalam. He was the President of India and a great scientist too. APJ Abdul Kalam talks about his upbringing, how he got his education, how he became a successful person in his life, and even he talks about his parents and his siblings. Even he tells about his friends and all those things that influenced his childhood. APJ Abdul Kalam was born into a middle class Tamil family, and his place of birth called Rameswaram is an island town in the state of Tamil Nadu in the Bay of Bengal. Today we all know this state as Tamil Nadu, but when he was born, at that time the state was known as Madras state. Let's understand the mind map of this lesson. Abdul Kalam's wages. So when he was learning and getting education, till that time also he was getting wages. He was working hard. So earning while learning, this was the attitude of APJ Abdul Kalam. Every day early in the morning he was getting up at 4 o'clock and he was getting ready by 5 o'clock. He has to be ready to go to mosque with his father. And at 6 o'clock he came back to home and he has to be ready with his maths tuition, and then after he has to go to school. That was his morning work, morning schedule that we have to know about him. Kalam is also asked not to sit among high caste students. That was his school incident that we will discuss later in the summary. Then the teachers break of social barrier, that is also the part of his childhood. And even he, after getting his school education at his Rameswaram, he also took permission to go for higher study to Ramanathapuram. That was from his parents. Now let's understand the summary of this lesson. My Childhood is an extract taken from the autobiography of APJ Abdul Kalam, Wings of Fire. He was a great scientist and also the 14th President of India. He was born in a middle class Muslim family in 1931 in the island town of Rameswaram in Tamil Nadu. In his childhood, he was greatly influenced by his parents, his teachers, and even his friends. His father's name was Jainul Abdin, was not highly educated, but he was a very generous person and even kind to each and every. He was not rich, but provided a secure childhood to Abdul and his siblings. Next point, Abdul inherited honesty and self-discipline from his father, and faith in goodness and deep kindness from his mother. Even Kalam earned his first wages by working as a helping hand to his cousin. His cousin's name was Samsuddin. So it was a war time. The war started in 1914 and ended in 1918. During that time, there was no stop at Rameswaram. There was no platform. There was no stop given to Rameswaram. So the bundle of newspaper that was thrown away from the running train. So Samsuddin had to collect that bundle of newspaper wherever exactly on the way it was thrown away from the train. And even APJ Abdul Kalam became a helping hand to Samsuddin, and from that day he got his first wages. In his childhood, he had three close friends, Ramnada Sastri, Arvindam and Shiv Prakasam. These three were very close friends of him. Once when he was in 5th standard, a new teacher came to school and asked him, when he entered the class, he asked him not to sit in the front row along with the high class Brahmin boys. So he sat beside Ramnada Sastri, which he belonged to. He belonged to Brahmin community, and that's why he asked him not to sit with high class Brahmin boys. And this became a sad incident for Ramnada Sastri and even Abdul Kalam. Abdul Kalam sat in the last row, where Ramnada Sastri was sitting in the first row. He was having a sacred thread on his shoulder, but this did not like by Ramnada Sastri. So he went home weeping, and he told the entire incident to his father Lakshmana Sastri. So Lakshmana Sastri reached to school and scolded the teacher and told him, either you have to leave this place or you have to say sorry to the children and even the school. So that was the big incident which happened in APJ Abdul Kalam's life. So Abdul found Ramnada Sastri weeping as he went to the last row, and this made a lasting impression on Abdul. Abdul was also greatly influenced by his science teacher named Subramanya Iyer. He learnt the lesson of breaking social barriers from him. So once his science teacher, Mr. Iyer, invited to his home for a meal, where his wife refused to serve food to a Muslim boy in her pure kitchen. So Iyer not only served him but also sat beside him to take food. Even he himself served him. But then after, when Subramaniam Iyer asked his wife to serve food, she did not hesitate. In the contrary, she served him food. So that was also a great incident in the life of APJ Abdul Kalam. Iyer served him with his own hands and sat down beside him to eat his meal. Even he convinced his wife to serve meal with her own hands, and thus was successful in changing her conservative attitude. Even for higher education, Abdul Kalam took permission from his father to leave Rameswaram and studied at the district headquarters in Ramanadapuram. That is also important. His father said that Abdul had to go to a long way in life, just like a seagull bird which flies long distances. So seagull is a seabird and it flies on the surface of water to catch food. Even it goes to the long distance to get his success, to get food and to fly high in the sky. So Abdul Kalam also got this kind of inspiration from this seagull, seabird. Even he calmed down APJ's reluctant mother by quoting Khalil Gibran's poem on children. So I humbly request you to go through Khalil Gibran's poem on children and take review of the poem. He even said that her children could not be dominated by her because they had said her own thoughts. He said that her children could not be dominated by her because they had their own thoughts. So he requested, even he explained her mother, he has to go once to leave the place for higher study. So he explained his mother by quoting a poem of Khalil Gibran's poem called On Children. They did not belong to her, but they were a result of life's desire for itself. He even asked her to give them freedom to fulfill their thoughts. These three friends were the Ramnada Sastri, Arvindan and Shiv Prakashan. So when they grew up like Abdul Kalam, they also diverted from Abdul Kalam's life and they took their own life and they got their own work. But here Abdul Kalam's achievement was very high. His goal was very high and he became a missile man of the country. He was also a teacher. Let's understand very important NCERT questions which are really helpful for board examinations. So first question is there, where was Abdul Kalam's house? So answer is very simple. Abdul Kalam's house was on the Mosque Street in Rameswaram. Question number 2, what do you think Din Mani is the name of? Give a reason for your answer. Din Mani is the name of a local newspaper. It is so because Abdul Kalam traced the stories of the war in the headlines in Din Mani. So that is also important question. Question number 3, who were Abdul Kalam's school friends? What did they later become? So Ramnada Sastri, Arvindan and Shiv Prakashan were Abdul Kalam's school friends. Ramnada Sastri became the high priest of Rameswaram temple, Arvindan a transport businessman, and Shiv Prakashan was the catering contractor of the Southern Railways. So they also took their jobs and they were doing well. Question number 4, how did Abdul Kalam earn his first wages? During the Second World War, the newspapers were bundled and thrown out of a moving train. Abdul Kalam earned his first wages by helping his cousin, who distributed newspapers in Rameswaram and to catch these bundles. So, Second World War was going on, 1939 to 1945, and during that time there was no stop at all at Rameswaram. So the bundle of the newspaper thrown out of a moving train, Abdul Kalam had to earn his first wages by helping his cousin Samsuddin and to distribute these newspapers in Rameswaram. Question number 5, had he earned any money before that? In what way? Yes, Abdul Kalam had earned some money before he started helping his cousin. When the Second World War broke out, there was a sudden demand of tamarind seeds in the market. So he collected the seeds and sold them at a provision store on the Mark Street. Usually, a day's collection earned him 1 anna. That was important for him. Next question. Answer each of these questions in a short paragraph, about 30 words. According to the new paper pattern, students have to prepare these questions. how does the author describe his father, his mother, and himself? So first one, Abdul Kalam's father, Zainul Abidin, was not a wealthy or educated person. However, he was an honest and generous man who possessed great innate wisdom. He was self-disciplined and avoided all inessential luxuries. Let's see about his mother. Asiemma was an ideal helpmate to her husband. She believed in goodness and profound kindness and fed many people every day. So that was a great work. The author describes himself as a short boy with undistinguished looks who had a secure childhood. He is an honest and self-disciplined person who believes in goodness and deep kindness. So that is also important question. Next question. What characteristics does he say he inherited from his parents? He says that he inherited honesty and self-discipline from his father. He further says that he inherited faith in goodness and deep kindness from his mother. So these two attitudes which are really important to inculcate in each and everyone's life. Question number 3. Discuss these questions in class with your teacher and then write down your answers in 2 or 3 paragraphs each. Let's see. 1. On the whole, the small society of Rameswaram was very rigid in terms of the segregation of different social groups, says the author. Answer of this question is, he mentions 2 social groups of Rameswaram, Orthodox Brahmins and Muslims. Yes, these groups were very easily identifiable. For example, by the way they dressed, Kalam wore a cap which marked him as a Muslim. Ramadana Sastri wore a sacred thread which marked him a Hindu. Next question. Were they aware only of their differences, or did they also naturally share friendships and experiences? Think of the bad times stories in Abdul Kalam's house, of who his friends were and of what used to take place in the pond near his house. No, they were not only aware of their differences, but also they naturally shared friendships and experiences. Abdul Kalam's mother and grandmother would tell the children of his family bedtime stories, their past experiences about the events from the Ramayana and from the life of the Prophet Muhammad Paigambar. During the Sri Sita Rama Kalyanam ceremony, his family used to arrange boats with a special platform for carrying idols of the Lord from the temple to the marriage site situated in the middle of the pond called Rama Tirtha, which was near his house. So this was also very great. Though he was from a Muslim community, he was working for the Hindus also. The author speaks both of people who were very aware of the differences among them and those who tried to bridge these differences. Can you identify such people in the text? Answer of this question is, the people who were very aware of the differences among them, they were the young teacher who joined Rameswaram Elementary School and came to teach Kalam's class, the 5th standard, and his science teacher, conservative wife who refused to serve Kalam in her ritually pure kitchen. Those who tried to bridge the differences between Kalam's science teacher, Subramaniam Iyer, who invited, served and dined with him to break social barriers so that people could mingle easily, people could mix easily. If people can understand there is no difference between the Hindus and the Muslims, Definitely, we all can be united in the country. There is no fall, especially for community, caste, religion, tradition. We can live together, though we are having different religions. And even Lakshmana Shastri, who conveyed the strong sense of conviction to the new young teacher to reform him. So that is also important question. Next question. Narrate two incidents that show how differences can be created and also how they can be resolved. How can people change their attitudes? Answer of this question is, the first incident to show that how differences can be created is that when the new teacher found a Muslim student sitting beside a Hindu student, he asked Kalam to sit in the last row. That is not good. Even his friend Ramnada Shastri was heartbroken. They informed their respective parents. Lakshmana Shastri summoned the teacher and conveyed the strong sense of conviction which ultimately reformed him. The other incident shows that how differences can be resolved. The author's science teacher, Subramanya Iyer, thought, though an orthodox Brahmin, which are very conservative, tried to bridge these differences. People can change their attitudes by observing no difference in the way of Hindus and Muslims eating of milk, drinking water and cleaning of the floor. Next question. Why did Abdul Kalam want to leave Rameswaram? Kalam wanted to leave Rameswaram for further studies. He even wanted to study at the district headquarters in Ramanathapuram. What did his father say to this? Kalam's father said that he knew that one day Kalam had to go away to grow. He has to go to far place to study. He gave him the analogy of a seagull that flies across the sun along and without a nest. He then quoted Khalil Gibran's Kalam's mother, saying that her children were not their own children. They were the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through their parents, but not from them. So they may give them their love, but not their thoughts, as the children have their own thoughts. What do you think his words mean? Why do you think he spoke those words? Abdul Kalam's father's words bear great meanings. First, he inspired his son to go ahead, above giving the example of the seagull. Secondly, he explained Kalam's mother to give his son opportunities to get higher education to make his progress. I think he spoke those words to encourage Abdul Kalam and to control the emotional attachment to his wife for Kalam. So here we are ending our video with mind map, explanation of the lesson, and even NCERT important questions for examination. I hope you would have liked my video. Please don't forget to subscribe it. Click on like button, bell button for more notification and share with your friends. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.